Power Rangers in Space, as we know, is one of the most iconic seasons of the whole Power Rangers franchise. It combined intergalactic space battles along with some of the most complex story stuff that we've seen in Power Rangers, which did make for some memorable characters. It made sense, right, as In Space was the end point for the Zordon Era because, you know, Zordon died in this era. So it definitely was a big turning point for the show, and a big core, a big center of that was our Red Ranger, Andros. As even though this is a continuation of Power Rangers Turbo and the previous seasons before that, this really is Andros' journey in space. Along with the previous team of Turbo Rangers, they're on a journey for Dark Spectre. They faced new and old enemies and definitely made a legacy of their own. A legacy that didn't go without some secrets along the way being questioned, mostly because of the origin of Andros and KO-35 and his whole side of the story. We've been following Earth for so long that what's actually going on in space? Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up everybody, it's Este here and welcome back to another Power Rangers theory, along with the Power Rangers Explained, because some of this is still a theory and some of it's explained. It's weird. Crossover series event? Hello? Throughout the time viewing Power Rangers in Space, we would see Andros and Zane all from KO-35. They've been in Space Rangers already. And the big question floating around is what happened to their previous team? You know, clue number one right here about this original team, there's 4 unused Ranger morphers. Yeah, Andros gave these 4 unused morphers to our Turbo Rangers to complete the space team. And it's puzzling because Andros does work alone, as we see early on in the show, so why is he holding on to these morphers? This right here is a big key to finding out what happened to the original team. A lot of us questioned if they have been like previous colors to Andros, and Corone, the villain Astronema, had dreamed about becoming Power Rangers, and at the end of the series we did see Corone, Astronema, pull up with a purple uniform of sorts. We theorized that it could have been for a purple ranger of sorts, but maybe it's another key to the original team. Going back to Andros' behavior, that's a big clue number 2 here, because Andros really acts different when you compare him to the previous Red Rangers. Even TJ, who's on his team, who else? Rocky, Tommy, Jason, all very different Red Rangers than what Andros is. His antisocial demeanor really does contradict the rest of the Red Ranger history. There's not a lot of camaraderie or willingness to share stuff with the group. Obviously, when he learns about the Turbo Rangers and they've come together as their own group, that's when he's opened up a little bit more, but you really see that in these first few episodes of In Space. And that is another key to figuring out what did he lose exactly, a whole nother team. There's a big thing about Andros and Zordon in this show, and with Andros being a disciple of Zordon in a way, he could have been a little more courageous, possibly, a little bit. Common question of the day though, who do you think is the best Red Ranger? I know Andros may be up there, but I don't know. I guess it's still Tommy. Or Wes? Is Wes good? TJ's definitely a good one. I could be here talking all day. Leave a comment down below and leave a like to lock in your answer. 1,500 likes and I'll do more videos just like this one. Clue number 3 of all this actually comes from a person on the In Space team, that being Zane, the Silver Ranger, another person from KO-35. Now, Zane was introduced much later into the show, about 20 or so episodes in, but we found out that he was frozen the whole time. He was in the ship the whole time. Frozen. It's like Disney, what they did to Walt Disney. Is that true? I don't think so. But it could be. Because if Zane's frozen, Walt Disney's frozen. But the point is, why did Andros keep this information secret from the rest of the people? Well, obviously, he was reluctant. He didn't connect with them like that. But still, there's a frozen man on your whole ship. Was it smelling like one too? A big factor in that was maybe Zane's presence just brought back random memories. And when you think about it, when you have your sister, the villain, right? Your buddy's frozen, and the rest of your team is dead, I would assume you'd be a little sad. Very sad. Traumatized, actually. The whole Zane thing also just unravels onto clue number 4, which is the point that Andros would never tell our team anything. Like revealing the truth about Corone, the stuff about Zane, and the numerous things about his history and his past and his ways of being the Red Ranger really just stopped him from connecting full on and just being a full happy-go-lucky team from the beginning of the show. And that tendency could push on forward to him not telling the team what really happened in KO 35, what happened to his planet, and what happened to his people and his friends. And a big reason for Andros' lack of connection with the team is because, you know, their thing about being planetary rangers. That's what Andros called them. And those are basically rangers from the planet Earth. And, you know, they are rangers that, you know, people give orders to them for them to do stuff. And we've seen this throughout the show. Tommy is like, give me an order, please. Stop asking questions. And I guess Andros picked up on that, and that's a big reason why he didn't want to connect to these guys. You know, Andros may be reluctant on his team, but I will never be reluctant on the E-Squad. That's right, subscribe and ring the notification bell to join the E-Squad today, the best Power Rangers fan base in all of history and life. And of course, the E-Squad comment of the day. You can leave a funny comment down below and put the E-Squad in it, and you'll be in the next video, 100% guaranteed. Ding! Maybe not 100%. Which brings us to clue number 5, the battle on KO 35 itself. We would see a little flashback about this with Andros and Zane. And you know, they were falling to Dark Spectre's forces, but them being seen as the last 2 remaining is definitely a big whoop, as you know what happens to the rest of the guys. The planet's protectors. Astronomer or anybody on Dark Spectre's team could have whooped him pretty easily. But with that, we have all of our clues as to what really happened to this in-space original team. And the theory is, you know, they died. We didn't have to say that, but they probably did. We don't gotta know their color. But in true Power Rangers fashion, things get more explained when we go into the comic book side of things. The comic books has a story talking about what happened to the original in-space team. And even though, you know, it's in a different universe, quote unquote, there's still stuff that we can pick up. In Power Rangers Unlimited Countdown to Ruin number 1, we find the truth to Andros' team. We learned that in the attack that had Corone stolen, as well as the attack on KO 35, resulting in the death of Andros' parents, the Power Rangers decided to take them in. And that most notably being the blue and pink Rangers of that team, Mavi and Daza. Also, they were like a married couple, so they would have all the orphans they pick up from space inside their spaceship. Cute, I guess. They would later grow up and join the planetary defense system, run up the rankings to be the best of their team, and eventually have the honor of becoming Power Rangers themselves. Mavi and Daza, their mothers in a way, are basically saying that they're retiring from becoming Power Rangers and giving the opportunity to a brand new team of people, including both Zane and Andros, with Zane becoming the Silver Ranger and Andros being reluctant on joining this team. Not because of a connection issue like he would have in the future, but just because he was still on that mission of finding Corone and what truly happened. However, Zane would join this new team, and this is really Andros' original team. We have Edie, Naro, Kali, and Yizu. But when Darkonda showed up, as he was the one who kidnapped Corone in the first place, Andros stepped in and finally became the in-space Red Ranger. And the team lived in peace until, you know, Dark Spectre showed up. And that's when he killed them all. Captured, killed, banished, leaving Andros alone. So no, it wasn't Mavi and Daza who got destroyed. It was this new team of Rangers. But there are some contradictions to the comic book story to, you know, what happened in the actual show. The first thing is, I assume Andros didn't really know the rest of these guys like that. I guess he fought them with them, alongside them for very shortly. So why is he still traumatized by that? I guess seeing 4 people die is still traumatizing, but I guess he didn't know them as much. Also, another thing, Zane said in the show when he became the Silver Ranger that he never saw a female Ranger before, specifically when looking at the Yellow and Pink Rangers. And that's not true when he has, you know, been with female Rangers in the past in his planetary ways. Unless, you know, they don't have genders up there. They're all non-binary. I don't know. Power Rangers. So for that reason alone is why this is still kind of a theory, still kind of explained. It's a quite mixed match of the two. But what do you guys think? What do you think truly happened to the in-space original team? Make your own story in the comments down below. But hey, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, ddonfuego. I'm also on Instagram, notdonfuego. Have a good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you're at. And of course, and as always, thanks for everybody.